Hey, what's good YouTube? It's Mario and I'm back today with another video, and today I'll be speaking about a very famous player that you guys might all be familiar with, Neymar Jr.
It's Neymar!
Neymar just got injured again after coming back from a year-long absence due to an ACL injury. And things are looking bad for the Brazilian as Al-Hilal is considering terminating his contract. But before we get into this, make sure you guys subscribe for more football content coming your way. Neymar is one of the most talented players from this generation, and I grew up watching him and he really stuck out due to his flashy skills in dribbling as a winger. However, at the age of 31, he cut his European career short and he went to the Saudi Arabian League and joined Al-Hilal, disappointing almost everyone in the football community, including myself. So how did Neymar, one of the greatest players to ever touch a football, failed to live up to his expectations? Well, it all began when Neymar was born on February 5th, 1992 in the city of São Paulo, Brazil. Neymar was born into a football family where his father Neymar Sr. was a former footballer. Neymar's upbringing was rough as his dad worked 3 different jobs and struggled to put food on the table, even going weeks without electricity. Neymar didn't let this stop his passionate obsession with football. Neymar would play with other kids on the streets of Brazil along with on the beach growing up. He began his career playing futsal at his local town, and a Santos scout wanted him to come play for the Brazilian club. And of course, he and his parents agreed to this move. While playing for the youth academy at Santos, Neymar was balling out and Real Madrid took notice of this and invited the young Neymar and his dad to Spain for Neymar to try out with their youth team. During this era, Real Madrid had players like Brazilian Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, Roberto Carlos, and even Neymar's idol, Robinho. Real Madrid liked Neymar and they wanted to give him a contract at just 14 years old. But Neymar rejected their proposal as he felt homesick from Brazil and he wanted to go home. He didn't want to leave his family just yet, which made sense coming from a 14-year-old. So Neymar's dad told Santos to give Neymar a good contract because Real Madrid wanted to sign him, which exactly is what Santos did. Neymar ended up joining the club and accepting their proposal. Jumping a few years to when Neymar became 17, he was playing really well in the age group, so Santos decided to bump him up to the first team and he made his professional debut on March 2009. After his impressive performance on his debut, Santos decided to keep Neymar on the first team. He ended up scoring 14 goals and providing 9 assists in 48 games in his debut season as a 17-year-old. He continued to dominate, and in 2010 in the Campeonato Paulista, Neymar scored another 14 goals in 19 games, helping Santos get crowned champions of the tournament. Neymar was given the award as the best player of the competition. Neymar was becoming a Brazilian sensation and he was the talk around town in the football world at the time. He was starting to get interest from many top European clubs, but Neymar felt that it was best to stay at Santos and perfect his craft. Anyways, finishing up that season, Neymar scored 42 goals and provided 20 assists in just 60 appearances, which is just an insane stat line for an 18-year-old. Neymar was left out of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, which disappointed many Brazilian fans. He continued dominating at Santos, and in 2011 during the Copa Libertadores, which is basically the Champions League for South Africa, Neymar scored 6 goals in that run to the finals where Santos was set to face Uruguayan club Penarol. Neymar scored the opening goal in the finals and Santos went on to win the game 2-1 and ended up taking the trophy. Keep in mind, this is the first time Santos managed to win the Copa Libertadores since Pele was on the team. Neymar was named the man of the match in the finals, and as Santos won the Copa Libertadores, this means that they were invited to the Club World Cup, where Neymar could truly showcase his talent on a bigger stage. During the Club World Cup, Neymar helped Santos reach the final where they lost to Barcelona 4-0. After the 2011 season, Neymar won the 2011 FIFA Puskas Award for his solo goal against Flamengo, which put him on a bigger stage. And he also won the 2011 South American Footballer of the Year award. Moving on to 2012, Neymar was the most talked about player after Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. In the 2012 season, Neymar had his best season yet, scoring 43 goals and 10 assists in 47 matches, meaning he had more goal contributions than matches played at only 20 years old. Santos ended up winning the league again that season and Neymar was named the MVP once again. In the Copa Libertadores, he was the joint scorer with 8 goals that season. He was named the South American Footballer of the Year for 2012, winning the same award back to back. He continued balling out for Santos, but this would be his last year at the Brazilian club. Neymar sparked interest from many clubs across Europe and his interest was at an all-time high. The Brazilian national team ended up calling him up to the 2013 Confederations Cup, where he had lots of pressure to live up to. Neymar lived up to those expectations, scoring 4 goals and getting 2 assists in 5 appearances. He ended up scoring against a dominant Spain team in the final as Brazil ended Spain's 29-game undefeated streak. With his crazy crazy performance, Neymar ended up winning the Golden Ball for the tournament. Then, in the summer of 2013, Neymar's life would completely change. Neymar agreed to a transfer fee to Barcelona that was worth 57 million euros. During his first season at Europe, Neymar bagged in 15 goals and provided 15 assists in just 41 appearances. That was a pretty good season, but in the 2014-2015 season is when Neymar really began to turn up. But before we get into his club season, Neymar was called up to play for Brazil in the 2014 World Cup, which took place in his home country, Brazil. Neymar was going into the World Cup as Brazil's star player and was expected to lead Brazil to their 6th World Cup. He started the tournament well, scoring 2 goals against Croatia, which led Brazil to a 3-1 win. Then scored another 2 goals against Cameroon, which helped Brazil top their group. But in the quarterfinals versus Colombia, things were going well for Neymar and he got an important assist, which helped Brazil win 2-1 over Colombia. But things took an unexpected turn when a Colombian player kneed Neymar in the back and he had to be removed off the pitch with a stretcher. After the game, reports started emerging that Neymar fractured his vertebrae in his spine, which would keep him out for several months. Brazil ended up losing 7-1 to Germany the next game without Neymar, which proved that Neymar was a crucial player. Neymar eventually returned to Barcelona in the 2014-2015 season, where he went insane, scoring 39 goals and providing 10 assists in just 51 appearances. Neymar was prospering alongside Messi and Suarez, and they earned the famous trio name MSN. MSN ended up winning an unforgettable treble, with Barcelona winning La Liga, Copa del Rey, the Spanish Super Cup, and of course the Champions League. Neymar was a joint top goal scorer in the Champions League, tying with none other than Messi and Mr. UCL himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. To top the season off, MSN ended up finishing with 122 goals, the most for an attacking trio in Spanish football history. With his impressive performances, Neymar was nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Messi took the trophy that year, with Ronaldo coming in second and Neymar who took 3rd place. 51 goals and provided 51 assists to help Barcelona win the La Liga again and another Copa del Rey trophy in his final 2 seasons. However, Neymar felt like most of the spotlight was on Messi instead of himself, so he did something very drastic that would change his career forever. In the summer transfer window in 2017, he joined PSG, which was a record-breaking transfer fee of 222 million euros. Neymar wanted to be the main star of the club, so he joined hoping for the new spotlight. In the first season at PSG, he recorded 28 goals and provided 16 assists in 30 appearances, making him the best player in Ligue 1. During his first season, he won the Ligue 1, the Coupe de France, and the French League Cup, earning him 3rd place at the Ballon d'Or ceremony once again. However, Neymar got injured in a match versus Martial, which took him out for the rest of the season. These injuries would become recurring for Neymar as his time at PSG. Neymar managed to recover right before the 2018 World Cup, set to be in Russia. Throughout the World Cup, Neymar recorded 2 goals and 2 assists, losing to Belgium 2-1 in the quarterfinals. Neymar was supposed to be next heir to the Brazilian throne and deliver Brazil the next World Cup, but he failed to do so. Moving on to the 2018-2019 season, Neymar provided 23 goals and 13 assists in 28 appearances. However, Neymar got injured once again and missed out on the Champions League campaign with PSG, along with being out for the rest of the season. Moving on to the 2019-2020 season, this was the lowest output Neymar has produced so far in his career, with him getting 19 goals and 12 assists in 27 appearances. Don't get me wrong, these stats are still pretty good, but for Neymar, these are just low. During this season, Neymar stayed healthy and led PSG to the Champions League final and proved himself to be an important key player. He recorded 3 goals and 4 assists in 7 appearances. Neymar gave it his all, but in the final, he ended up coming short, losing 1-0 to Bayern Munich. Then moving on to the 21-22 season, one of the reasons why Neymar left Barcelona arrived to PSG, which was Lionel Messi. PSG had one of the scariest trios with Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, and they were looking good. PSG had their eyes on the Champions League, which they failed to win in the 21-22 season. Neymar was then called up to Brazil in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, which he would face more injuries. During the opening game for Serbia, Neymar suffered an ankle injury which sidelined him for the next 2 games. Brazil ended up getting through to the round of 16 where they faced South Korea. Neymar scored and assisted in a 4-1 win over South Korea, which meant that they would face Croatia in the quarterfinals. During the game against Croatia, Neymar scored a goal in the 106th minute of extra time, but then Croatia striked in the 117th minute, which led to Brazil losing later to penalties. Neymar, who wanted to bring his country a World Cup, was devastated once again. Going back to his club after the World Cup, Neymar ended up getting injured again in the Champions League versus Bayern Munich. Neymar was getting injured so much for PSG that the fans started getting really infuriated with him, even showing up to his house chanting for him to leave the club. During the start of the 22-23 season, Messi left to join Inter Miami, and there would be reports of Mbappe leaving as well to Real Madrid. Neymar decided to leave PSG to join Al-Hilal for a reported salary of 300 million euros for 2 years. Neymar, who is one of the most talented players of this generation, who was supposed to be the next face of football after Messi and Ronaldo and was set to be the next Pele to lead Brazil back to the glory days, left for a club in Saudi Arabia at just 31 years old. As we can all agree, Neymar did not reach his full potential. But things got even worse for Neymar during the World Cup qualifiers on October 17th, 2023. Neymar tore his ACL in a game versus Uruguay, sidelining him for 1 year. Al-Hilal was disappointed as they paid a ton of money for Neymar and he missed the entire next season, but they ended up winning the league anyways. Neymar made his return on October 21st, 2024 and played 13 minutes in his first game back. But then on November 4th, his second game back, Neymar suffered a hamstring injury, which he's expected to be out for another 6 weeks. There have been reports of Al-Hilal considering terminating his contract. This is honestly really sad to see for Neymar, as he was one of the most skilled players of this generation. In the football world, he is known as the prince who never became king. There have also been reports that Neymar just bought a new property in Miami. Could this be the comeback of MSN happening in Inter Miami? If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like down below, and let me know which player I should talk about in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next football video.
Parado no bailão, ela com o popozão no chão, o popozão no chão, o popozão no chão.